Hold Shift and use the cursor keys to navigate between the screens. In the grid type views, use Edit to enter new items and use Edit plus the cursor keys to change the values. Up and down, do larger increments. To cut or clear a value, hold Edit and press Option. To find the next free item slot, double tap Edit. To navigate tracks, phrases, etc. or instruments, hold Option and press the side arrow keys and use the up and down arrow keys to navigate page-wise. To copy and paste single cursor selections, use the Edit button. To enter the selection mask mode, hold Shift and press Option. Then use the cursor keys to expand on the selection. Hold Shift and press Option repeatedly to select the entire row, column, or all or nothing. When in selection mode, press Option to copy the selection and press Shift Edit to paste the selection at the cursor position. To move or rotate the selection, press Edit and the up or down arrow keys. To clone the selected items and make them unique, press Shift and Edit in selection mode. Notice that the numbers have changed. To deep clone the selected chains in song view, press Shift and tap Edit twice. This will create unique copies of the chains and phrases to make new variations. To render the selection as a sample, double tap Edit. To play or stop all tracks, press Play. To cue the selected song row for playback, press Left and Play. To solo all tracks to the left or right side of the cursor's position, press Option and the left or right arrow key. To mute a track, hold Option and press Shift, then release Option. To solo a track, hold Shift and press Play. To unmute and unsolo everything, hold Option and press Shift and Play. To toggle between song and live mode, hold Shift and press the left cursor key. To launch chains in clip mode, select and press Play. Double tap Play to make the change occur quicker at the next bar. Note that only adjacent chains are looped. When the row after the currently playing chain is empty, the playhead jumps back to the beginning of the previous block. Independent sections can be created by leaving an empty row between them. To play the current phrase in solo, press Play. To continue the song at the chain's position, press Shift and Play. To preview the note under the cursor, press Edit. To randomize the selected note values up or down, hold Option and press the up or down arrow keys. Press left to cycle through fill modes with different spacing, and right to get random values. To interpolate the first and last value of a selection, press Shift and Edit. To navigate to the instrument of the selected row, press Shift and right, and left to get back. To enter a note off, hold Edit and press Option twice. To find the next free instrument slot and create it, select the instrument column, double tap Edit, and then hold Shift and press right. Now you're at the next free sample and you can set the type. Let's load a drum loop. Samples can be previewed with the play button. The current instrument can be previewed by holding Edit and pressing play. To lock the loop sample to the tempo, aka Timestretch it, set play to forward loop, set length to 0, go to the modulation screen, set mod 3 to LFO, set destination to loop start, full amount, oscillator type to ramp up, trick to retrig, and the frequency should be the amount of bars in the sample, where 10 is 1 bar, 20 are 2 bars, etc. Now the sample is time stretched and locked to the tempo. To reset a parameter to its default value, press Edit and Option. Holding Edit allows the touchscreen to move the selected parameter. Holding Option and sliding the finger horizontally or vertically assigns the parameter to that axis. This is per instrument. When in the mixer view, to create a song snapshot for temporarily storing the entire song to recall at a later point, press Shift and Option. To recall the song snapshot, press Shift and Edit. These are all the shortcuts that I wanted to memorize and why I made this video for myself. I added a GitHub link containing them as a markdown cheat sheet to the description. If you find this video useful, then please like and subscribe. If you found that I missed something important, feel free to write a comment. So now I connected the MIDI output of the M8 Tracker into the CraftSynth 2 and the audio output of the CraftSynth into the M8 Tracker. So in order to hear anything, you need to make sure in the mixer that the input is not disabled and to set to some positive value. Let's create a new project and create a Midi Out instrument. In my case, I need to set it to MIDI channel 3. So now I can simply enter some notes, whatever, and sequence the CraftSynth. Something I found interesting to do is to insert program changes. Right, here it is, MIDI program change. And let's try some different values. Let's use this sample, I kinda like it. So what I want to show you next is how to record this. For that I will create a new chain and a new instrument and record the sample. Make it a sampler, go to record. So as a source, the input is the default, but you can also record from USB as it is an audio interface and from individual tracks, just so you know. And then you can declare whether it should start the sequencer along with the recording. And for that, you set the song row that you want the recording to start at. The arm is a volume threshold. So the sequence should start and I can just play around with the cutoff frequency or whatever and record a few bars. Let's see. Alright, I think it was a bit clipping. But here it is. If I wanted to keep it, I would have to give it a name, and I like this random function, so it's called Ethereal Wake, and then I can save it to my folder. And it's nice that The samples can be several minutes if I want to, because it's streaming from the SD card. Next, I would want to use the Craft Synth as a MIDI controller, so I have to connect another MIDI cable. So I just muted the volume here. I will create a new project again and load a drum sample. I can chop the sample. Let's slice it in 8 equal sections. Now I can select the individual slices. It's not perfect. If I set slice to file, then the slices will be triggered starting with node C1. If I wanted to record something that's longer than 1 bar, I have to create a few more phrases here. For recording MIDI notes, you need to go to the MIDI settings and set record note channel. Alright, so I have a 2 bar phrase and now I can record notes. Not something to be proud of, it's just an example. Now I can assign these knobs to attributes of the instruments. For example, let's do it to the filter, classic. So I have to select the parameter, hold Option and rotate the knob, and you see it says assigned. I can do the same for the resonance, and now at this point I want to mention that I'm developing my own music app for the Nintendo 3DS. The name is Noise Commander, and this channel is about my journey and struggles during the development process. If you are on the fence about purchasing the M8 Tracker and you can afford it, then do it if you ask me. Trash80, the creator of the M8, has done a phenomenal job and created a product that certainly deserves our money. At the same time, I would encourage you to buy a second-hand 3DS and join my Patreon so that you can run the app and follow my process on your own dual screens. If you want your name to appear in the credits screen, be sure to let me know by commenting on the related post on the Patreon page as shown on the screen now. Be aware that Noise Commander is a work in progress and needs yet much more time to mature. Please make me internet famous, as Stephen McLeod would say. A shout out goes to DJ Disc Machine. Thank you for your friendly comments, and your channel is honestly awesome. I plan to highlight the differences between the M8 Tracker and Noise Commander in a future video. Please stay tuned. The end.